Hi, I'm Carrie Ann Harjo, and this is Mystery Seekers Urban Legends, my capstone project for the Master of Science in Software Engineering at Grand Canyon University. This project is a mystery adventure game that I developed in Roblox Studio, where players investigate supernatural events and unravel a citywide conspiracy across 5 chapters and a prologue. Mystery Seekers Urban Legends is a narrative-driven detective game built in Roblox Studio. It was developed to immerse players in a series of supernatural investigations set in a modern urban setting. The core objective was to deliver an interactive, story-rich experience that blends puzzle solving and exploration with technical implementation, showcasing skills in scripting, system design, and user interface development. The game unfolds across a sequence of connected chapters. It begins with a prologue that introduces the players to foundational systems such as the inventory and journal tracking. Between chapters, players return to the central hub, the Mystery HQ, where they can review progress, interact with NPCs, and access their next mission. Each chapter introduces new mechanics and gameplay variations, including environmental puzzles, branching dialogue, item-based interactions, obbies or obstacle courses. From memory challenges and code breaking to symbolic rituals, the design emphasizes modularity and player experience, aligning with core principles of user-centered software development. Mystery Seekers Urban Legends was developed in Roblox Studio and scripted entirely in Lua. I hand-coded all core systems including inventory management, quest tracking, and puzzle logic. Each chapter is built as its own place file within a shared Roblox universe, which allowed for isolated development and smoother transitions between game episodes. Assets were either custom-built or tailored to support the game's aesthetic and narrative. A central hub world acts as the main investigation space, giving players access to new or unlocked chapters in flexible order. For data persistence, I used Roblox Data Store Service to save player progress, including collected items and completed chapters. I also took care to optimize performance across different devices, including mobile and lower-end hardware. To guide development, I created several diagrams like entity relationship models, a data flow diagram, and game flowchart. These help map out how each system interacts and ensure that puzzles, dialogue, and player inputs work together smoothly. This is where it all begins. The prologue drops the player into a haunted house investigation tied to a mysterious group called the Watchers. It introduces the basics, exploring, picking up clues, and using the journal system and inventory system to track everything. Additionally, the player gets a preview of the type of puzzles they'll find in the game. There's a Simon-like door and a short obby. This is the title screen. I went with an urban background and eerie music to match the tone of the game. Players can tweak the audio settings, check out the credits, and see the updates that we've made before jumping into the game. After the prologue, players unlocked the Detective HQ. This is their home base where they can see inventory, talk to NPCs, and unlock the next chapters as they make progress. Once a chapter is done, players head back to the HQ, collect a badge, and unlock the next case. Once a player returns to the HQ, the NPCs are available to guide them through the next part of the game. In Chapter 1, players explore a high school with students who've gone missing. They collect clues like notes and objects hidden around lockers or classrooms, which go into their inventory system for use later. Later in the chapter, players solve a cipher puzzle that leads to an escape room challenge. They've got to decode symbols, solve clues, and deactivate a ritual to get out of the room. Chapter 2 is set in a city park that slowly becomes less cursed and creepy. Players interact with the environment, planting magical seeds, putting out haunted flames to break the curse and restore the area. Chapter 3 is set in an old mall that's slowly losing its patrons, and for a good reason. In Chapter 3, players find an old piano in this abandoned mall, and using clues from posters and signs, they recreate a haunted melody to unlock the next part of the chapter. A little deeper in, there's a ritual circle with candles, and players have to use the hints from a Ouija board to figure out which candles to put out in order. It's creepy, but players seem to like the logic. Chapter 4 changes things up a little bit. It's part library, part museum, and includes some obstacle-based platforming, or an obby. Players jump between levels and solve light-based puzzles to collect cult clues. One of the biggest challenges I faced during the development of Mystery Seekers Urban Legends was time management. Balancing a full-time job, family responsibilities, and the demands of a large capstone project meant that staying on track required careful planning and constant reprioritization. Aside from time, one of my biggest issues was managing the complexity of puzzles. Ensuring the logic was sound without overwhelming players or the game engine. Performance optimization was another key hurdle, especially on lower-end devices where animations or scripts can cause lag. To address these issues, I modularized puzzle logic into smaller components, which made debugging and iteration easier. Frequent testing in Roblox Studio helped catch problems early, and I also used GitHub issue tracking and developer forums to troubleshoot more persistent bugs. Implementing memory-efficient design patterns kept performance stable, even in resource-heavy scenes like the park and sewer puzzles. To keep Mystery Seekers Urban Legends running smoothly, I built a clear maintenance plan around Roblox Studio's built-in versioning system. Most updates and backups were managed directly in Studio using versioned place files for each chapter. I also used GitHub for project planning, file sharing, and managing key scripts in Lua, mainly to make them easier to share and document without needing Roblox access. Before releasing any updates, I tested changes in a private sandbox version, and I kept a detailed devlog to track bugs and performance issues. Documentation, like README files and a developer guide, is ready in case the project needs to be handed off or expanded later. Mystery Seekers Urban Legends has been an amazing chance to combine narrative design, puzzle mechanics, and software engineering into one cohesive and playable experience. This project challenged me to think critically, troubleshoot creatively, and manage a full development cycle from start to finish, while keeping the player experience front and center. Looking ahead, I'd love to explore bonus chapters, alternate endings, or even release the game to the broader Roblox community for feedback. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the journey just as much as I've enjoyed building it.